Okay, there we go. She's recording now. Anyway, this will be Africa part number 3. And we'll pick right up where we left off the last time. And so I was laying there and they was beating the drums and sacrificing stuff, and no joke, what I prayed, Lord, I truly, and I really meant it. I said, Lord, forgive me. And I said, I know that you didn't mean for a fella like me to be in a place like this. Now, I didn't mention what I had heard to the rest of the group, but I told the Lord, I said, Lord, just as soon as, while I was praying, I said, as soon as you give me an opportunity, I'll get out of here. As soon as I can get on an airplane somewhere, I'll get out of here. Now, I didn't know exactly where I was at. I know I wasn't real far from a city called Kisumu, and I also knew I wasn't real far from Kampala, which is in Uganda. And I was determined to figure out how I was going to get out of there. I was not going to worry about what the others wanted to do. I was going to find me an airplane, and I was going back to the U.S. And so I didn't sleep very much at all that night. I mean, maybe a total of 2.5 to 3 hours, maybe. Finally it was up quite, probably 3 or maybe 4 in the morning. They quit beating the drums, and I reckon they'd killed everything they had to sacrifice, so. And, and you got to remember this is, so I know that I've got friends in Kenya that they've never heard this part of the story. This was actually before I ever met them. Eric, one of them, of course Clement, he was there from the beginning. Ansett, his son, Evelyn, hopefully Nancy might be watching a few of them. But Eugene he was just a baby. I mean, he was just a little kid when all this took place. But so all this was taking place outside the Mbale Hotel. And they had a little marketplace there, not far from the hotel. So, and they had told us, the following day that we'd get up and go out into the marketplace and pass out tracts and try to win people to Jesus. Well, when I woke up that morning, and Esther, she may have been in there. I don't even know. But Clement's wife, I'm not sure if she was one of the women that was in there or not. But so I wake up, and I'm laying in my bed, and I wake up and I look down at the bottom of my bed, and there's all these black ladies. A couple of them sitting on my bed, and I'm like, okay, what is this? And none of them couldn't speak any English. And I was just like, well, this is interesting. And I don't know exactly how, but anyhow, somehow or another, but what I didn't realize was that we were sleeping in what was also the kitchen. So somehow or another, they left the room, and I was able to put my pants on and stuff, and but I intended on leaving. I mean, as soon as possible. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth about some things, and you may be some of you that watching this may be shocked. Some of you has heard the story won't be shocked because you've heard me tell the truth about things before. But the truth helps people far more than what people think things ought to be. And I got up, and they'd fixed us something to eat, and all I could think about is, okay, God, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. They said, well, we're going to go out into the marketplace and around and hound out tracks and see if we can win people to Jesus. Well, the truth is, I didn't care if any of them come to Jesus. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to find myself an airport and be gone. That's how I felt. Now you may say, I cannot believe you felt that way. I did. That's how I felt. I'm not saying I was right, but that's how I felt about it. Well, so they give me an interpreter. And so the first thing I learned, the first phrase that I learned in Swahili was Hakuna Kama Yesu. And that's, there's none like Jesus. And I've not learned much more since then. No, I've learned a few more things, but that's what they taught. My interpreter, and he wasn't a very good interpreter, but he could speak some broken English, and we had a hard time communicating. But anyhow, so we went out into the marketplace, and I thought, well, since I'm here, and until I can find an airport, I might as well see if I can't win somebody to Jesus. Well, we went in, and there was it was kind of off. Anyhow, I heard some of this same chanting and whatnot that I'd heard the night before. And I'm not the kind of fella that shies away from stuff. And they done kept me up part of the night. And so here I went to where he is at a chanting and whatnot. Old dirty looking fella. Well, my interpreter grabbed the hope, and he's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm going, what's he saying? He said, no, come with me. And I said, no, I want to know what this man's saying. Well, he never would tell me what he was saying, what he was chanting. It was devil worshiping. And so we went around a little bit, and it was already hot. For me, Africa's always hot. It's never cool. It's always hot. And it generally takes me several weeks to get used to it. And then where we go in Western, it's humid. Lake Victoria is just right there, and a lot of moisture in the air and stuff, and a lot of forest. Reminds me here a lot. And they call this the jungle where I live, but anyway, so I was thirsty, and the only place that you're going to find anything remotely cool, you'd be extremely fortunate to find anything cold with ice in it. But you'd have to go into the bar. Well, I told him, I said, let's get us some drinks, and I said, I'm thirsty. So we went into the bar, and we got a couple of Cokes, and we sat down somewhere at a little table somewhere. I don't know if it was at the bar or I don't even know. We was outside, and we began to talk, and he was telling me about that he was building a house. Well, that's what I do. I mean, that's what I build a lot of is houses. And he said, we talked for a while, and we drunk our Cokes. And he said, would you like to come and see my house? To my village. When I had told Amy that I was not going to get wandered off, that I was going to stay right with the other missionaries, that I wouldn't just be like I normally am, I lied to her. Because here I headed off following him into the into the jungle. Well, we got started, and I went back to the hotel because I was going to see if anybody else had come back, and nobody wasn't there. So I just grabbed the water, and I had my backpack, and off we went. Well, we was going along, and everybody I was giving them some tracts. I mean, I was trying to get rid of them. I mean, we had 38,000 to give out, so you need to start giving them away. But I noticed he wasn't giving many away. That he was just giving to select, and he knew who he was giving them to. And so here I am, following him. And of course, at first we started off, and it's a big pipe. And then we took a turn here and a turn here, and the pipe gets littler and littler and littler. I had no clue where I'm at. Now I'm really in a mess. Now I'm following a guy that can barely speak any English in the middle of the jungle. I ain't got no flashlight with me whatsoever. I've only got a little bit of water. And we've walked for a long ways. Now, the one thing that was interesting is along these trails in the jungle, there are schools. No roads to them, but there's a school there. Well, I said, God, I just keep messing up. I said, now here I am. I'm following this guy. I said, I don't even got a clue where I'm at. But we got down to where his village is at, and I met his parents and seen the house he's building, and he is building it with muds and sticks. I thought, well, I see why God don't want me to build anything over here. I don't know how to build with sticks and mud. And I need lumber and 2x4s and 2x6s and, nails and screws. I don't know how to build with sticks and mud. But we was around there for a while, and we left and we started back, and we run across this girls' school, and they was letting out. And sometimes the kid goes to school till pretty late, and well, they'd let out, and all these girls, and I was giving them all tracks. I was trying my best to get rid of them. And I was telling them, Hakuna Kama Yesu, Hakuna Kama Yesu, Hakuna Kama Yesu. I mean, well, these fellers approached me. One of them could speak really good English. And he said, why are you here? And I looked at him and I said, I'm here for one reason. And that's to proclaim that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. And by Him and Him alone is the only way one can get to heaven, through salvation. Well, he took the awfully shouting fit. He went to rejoicing. He went to preaching. He went to praising. I mean, I didn't realize it, but he was one of the pastors down in there in that village. Had no clue who he was. Well, he'd preach a little while, and his brother would try to say something. He'd tell him to hush. Well, all that took place, and I just said, we should ask these children if any of them wants to accept Jesus. Well, I guess some of them got saved. I don't know exactly. Well, anyhow, I'd pretty well got rid of all my tracks. I was wet. I mean, my whole back was wet all the way down here. It had run down my drawers, down my breeches, into my socks. I mean, I was soaking wet. I'm out pretty well just about out of water, and now it's getting dark. Now, it gets dark in Africa early. It's not like being in the northern hemisphere to where, like now, it's almost 9 o'clock, maybe a little after 9 before it gets dark here at the house. There, pretty well 7 o'clock, 7:30 anyhow, it's dark. It's pretty well the same almost year round. Well, I'm thinking, boy, I really am in a bad shape now. Here I am in the jungle, following this feller, don't know where I'm going or nothing else. But it was on that trail that God, He spoke to me. And He told me something that I don't very seldom ever hear. And He said it so clearly. He said, Matt, He said, you've exactly where I want you. So, even though sometimes things don't look the best, you might be exactly where God wants you. But anyway, I'm going to cut it off. We've at 15 minutes, and we'll continue on of what happened when I got back to the hotel. I did get back. I'm still surviving. But anyway, we love you and mean it. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.